Alright. Hey guys, time to do a new Road to Redemption, or should I say Road to Aquaman. Let's talk about the DCEU movies that have came out since 2013, kicking off with Man of Steel, which we're going to be reviewing first. Then after that, I'm going to be reviewing Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice, Suicide Squad, Wonder Woman, and lastly, Justice League, which leads up all the way to Aquaman, which to me, could it be a redeeming factor for DC and Warner Brothers, since Warner Brothers has been fucking up this whole damn time and giving pretty much DC a bad reputation in the movie and the cinematic universe, that their interference is actually affecting directors', creativity. So with that, well, let's just start off first with Man of Steel, which to me is actually one of my favorite Superman movies that I have ever watched, and one of my third favorite Superman movies that I have seen thus far, behind Superman 1 and Superman 2. I think Superman 1's better than 2, so I give it that. But with this, let's talk about this movie. First off, it's directed by Zack Snyder, starring Henry Cavill, Amy Adams, Michael Shannon, Kevin Costner, Diane Lane, Lawrence Fishburne, and Russell Crowe. And yeah, I gotta say, I really did like this movie. Let's first talk about the story. The story is an origin story, of course, which starts off with Zor-El and his wife having their first child, but then things go completely bad. The planet is dying, and Zor-El is actually talking to the Sovereign to see what they're gonna do. And what happens next is General Zod attacks the Sovereign, takes Zor-El captured, and wants to at least save as much as they can for the planet Krypton. After that, Zor-El just completely releases from his grasp, grabs the Codex, puts the Codex inside of Kal-El. After that, he sends his baby son, Kal-El, all the way away from the dying planet of Krypton. And with that, the consequences happen is that Zod fights against Zor-El, and after that, we get to see Zor-El die by Zod's hands, and we get to see Zod getting imprisoned for pretty much killing a few of the Sovereign people. And not only that too, he promised that to the Sovereign, after he was getting imprisoned, that he will find Zor-El's son, Kal-El, and he will do whatever it takes in order to pretty much achieve his goal to at least save the planet, since he has the source of the Codex. That's when everything goes completely bad. Krypton has been destroyed. Zod is completely got in a frozen state. Is he? But is he not? So with that, we get to see Kal-El now turn into Clark Kent. We see him all grown up, trying to at least find out his identity and what he is made for. Him investigating about how his life and how it turns out to be. And not only that too, we get to see backstories of his childhood and how the way he's experiencing his powers and how he's suffering through, and then getting acknowledgement from his parents to see that he's not just human, but he is gifted with these powers, and that soon enough, when the time comes, he will be needed in order to save the planet and whatever means necessary for this. And we get to see moments of this happen in the movie, and it does actually help out the movie, and it shows that Clark Kent, or should I say a future Superman, is actually capable of saving the planet and proving himself that he's not just a threat, but a hero to the whole entire planet. And then with that, we get to see a really good origin story of Superman. And with that, the story gets a plus. The second part, Henry Cavill's performance as Clark Kent, Superman, or Kal-El, how he goes by all three names, even though he gets Superman called 3 times in the movie. I gotta say, his performance was really good. Some people were divided that he was a bit wooden, but right here, he's just confused because he's trying to find out what he's made for and what he's capable of, and he's finding answers to see where he really is from. And after investigating from one of the Kryptonians that has dropped into the to the planet Earth, he's finding connections. After that, he will find his answers there, and not only that too, to at least show that everybody that he's not just a threat, but an alien, but not just a threat or an alien. He's actually as human as he is, but gifted with powers for him to prove everybody that he's not just a threat, but a hero, and can relate to everybody that this guy is more than he can be, and a Superman, which everybody calls him 3 times in the movie, and proves his worth of how he can handle against alien threats and whatever problems that occurs around the Earth, especially with Zod trying to take over the planet, which we'll get to in a bit. And to me, Henry Cavill's performance is absolutely great, and so I give him a plus. As for the next person, I would say Amy Adams as Lois Lane. I thought her performance was great, even though she already knows from the get-go who Superman is, where she gets saved by Superman after she was investigating the alien ship that was inside in Antarctica. After that, we get to see now knowing that she gets saved by Clark Kent, by the wound that she got from one of the AI computers inside the ship. After that, we get to know more about her trying to at least prove everyone that there's not just there's a human out there that has these powers, that he is not only a threat but can at least show everybody that he is just more than that. But then things completely turn around there, and we'll get to that in a little bit. To me, that's what she's trying to do, at least find answers from Clark Kent, and not only that too, at least this is when the connections come with Clark Kent and with Lois Lane, and this is when they kind of like connect to each other. And to me, she already knows from the get-go who he is, and that he's Superman from the beginning. So yeah, Amy Adams as Lois Lane gets a plus. As for Michael Shannon as General Zod, wow, I thought he is great. His motivation sounds a bit generic, but it's a true goal, because what he has to do, he lost his planet Krypton. He was trying to do his best in order to save the planet, despite him breaking the rules and killing a few of the Sovereign members. He does go into a frozen state, but until the planet gets destroyed, well, the frozen thing just completely goes haywire. After that, him and Fiora just immediately awaken from the frozen solid, and then his soldiers or his minions wake up too to see the destruction of the whole planet. After that, he is motivated to finding the codex from Kal-El, looks around from different planets, but then when the ship gets triggered, that's when Zod immediately goes to the planet Earth and finds that the source is right there, and then at least warns everybody that he is looking for this Kryptonian, or should I say Kal-El, inside the planet. If they don't cooperate, he will do whatever it takes to at least take it away from him, or else he'll destroy the planet with the reshaping it up. But with that, his goals were absolutely generic, but at least his performance was absolutely great, so I give him a plus. And as for Fiora, I would give her credit too. She is actually one of and right-hand woman, even though she's a woman. So we can talk a little bit more in depth. Fiora and General Zod's performance, absolutely great. That gets a plus. For the supporting cast, Perry White, played by Lawrence Fishburne, I really did like him. He plays a bit of not so much of J.K. Simmons' character of the Daily Bugle, from Spider-Man movies, but to me he's actually more suited, and I thought his performance was great. Next supporting cast, Russell Crowe as Zor-El, I thought his performance was great. Even though what he did as much as he can to save the planet and save his son, we get to see that his conscience is inside one of the ships that Clark Kent finds inside, and then right there he motivates his son to at least prove everybody that what his powers mean to the planet and what he can do to save that planet, since he already lost the home that he just was born from. And not only that too, to at least show everybody that he's not just a threat. And I thought Russell Crowe's performance was absolutely great. I give him a good plus on that. As for Kevin Costner and Diane Lane's performance as Jonathan Kent and Martha Kent, I don't want to mention that name though, I thought the performance was absolutely great. Martha Kent motivating his son, that showing that she cares about him despite him not being from another planet. Jonathan Kent, since his death has been affected, I thought his performance was absolutely great. It motivates his son, or should I say adoptive son, to at least show everybody in the world that he is just not a threat, but a hero. And to me, I thought the performance watching over their adoptive son Clark Kent grow up, knowing that his powers are pretty much meant to be something in the future, and with that it proves loyal. And with that, I thought their performance was absolutely great. And even though I just would have loved to see a little bit more scenes of Jonathan Kent, but at least we got what we got enough. I think we got like 4 scenes at least max from him. Gotta give Kevin Costner a really good credit, and then with Diane Lane as the mother, I thought I'd give her credit, because proving that her son, proving Clark Kent that he's not just a threat, but a person being. I gotta stop repeating that. Okay, so with that, Russell Crowe, Kevin Costner's performance and Diane Lane's performance gets a plus, and I'll give him that credit. And yeah, that's about it for the supporting cast. As for the action, it's freaking great. The Krypton, the very beginning of the movie, the destruction of Krypton was really good. Clark Kent experiencing his own powers while he's flying. The fight between Superman, Fiora, and Zod's henchmen was really good. The part where the giant machine, I forgot the name of the machine, that pretty much just intervenes and pretty much causes the planet to turn into Krypton. I thought that scene was really cool. Even though there was a moment there that we get to see Henry Cavill's face while he was facing up with the Mortal Engine. I think that's all it's called. the world engine. I thought that scene was cool. It kind of was reminiscent. Looked like it was more from Christopher Reeve's face. And I thought right there from Zack Snyder, I know you did an Easter egg right there, and I gotta give you credit to that. The fight between Zod and Superman was absolutely fucking cool, and I thought to me that was actually the best moment of the movie, right next to the fight between Superman and Fiora. The action was great, but jeez Louise, the destruction in this movie was out of fucking control, and the shaky cam was woo insane. I'm a little divided. I'm a little divided on the action because the action is good, but man, there's so much shaking and stuff like that. But hey, what do you expect? That's his powers. That gets a bit of a mixed reception. As for the destruction of the movie, man, it's good, but damn, this is the part where the movie kind of fumbles off a little bit. To me, the cons about the movie is, well, this movie came out like nearly more than 5 years ago. Killing General Zod immediately was a bit of a crazy moment that pretty much just shocked everybody, and even in the audience itself. When Superman just broke the neck between Zod to try to save the human beings. Well, even though that was a pretty hard moment, though, what Superman had to do in order to save a family, or at least take away Zod's life in order for him to, like, you know, save the planet. And then with that, well, that was a big hard moment, though. And to me, man, oh man, that it hit me really hard when he killed General Zod, despite the destruction he has done. And yeah, I give it that. Too much shaky cam, and then man, the destruction of the movie was just completely out of control. Those were my only cons for me, and yeah. Is this movie worth checking out? I would have to say yes. To me, this is my third favorite Superman movie, right in front of Superman 2 and Superman 1. Superman 1 is still king to me. I gotta say, Henry Cavill's performance was absolutely great. He is actually my third favorite Superman actor, right behind the voice actor of the Superman Justice League series, and right on top is Christopher Reeve. I really would love to see Brainiac in a future movie, and I do want to see Lex Luthor at his full potential and get insight into the giant Kryptonian, a giant anti-Kryptonian war suit. But let's see how it goes. But anyways, guys, my final verdict is an 8 out of 10. I was gonna give it a 9, but an 8 out of 10 to me is right because the shaky cam, the crazy destruction and stuff like that. And then some of the parts where Superman actually had no choice but to kill Zod. It's not a big negative, but he had a choice in order to at least help innocent people, or just save the bad guy and to at least let him win for what he's done. But at the same time, to me, it was actually a good part. So with that in mind, guys, this movie gets an 8 out of 10. Next time when we come back, we will be reviewing Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. And this is the part where we get to introduce a few of the Justice League members, and most importantly, Wonder Woman right here, my beautiful Gal Gadot. And to shut everybody up, especially with Ben Affleck as Batman. So with that in mind, guys, I'll see you guys next time with Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. Catch you guys later. Bye-bye.